Joining us to look at this development is foreign policy expert Bolu Michael B. Bolu, thank you for joining us. The convention has now ended. How does Kamala Harris' acceptance of the nomination impact the party's electoral strategy, particularly in the battleground states? And what democratic groups are key to her campaign, and how might her policies influence their support?
Well, to be very fair, Kamala Harris' emergence has added a little bit of energy to the Democratic Party campaign for presidency. And being a person of color also is something that would energize a lot of people, especially minority groups and, some young voters as well. And that has been the focus of Kamala Harris' campaign. And I think the people that would broker the election for her, should her plan succeed or go well, are the women, minority population, and also the young voters. We've seen Kamala Harris now on TikTok, trying to appeal to young voters. And I think these demographic people are the people that have policies on healthcare, for example, and let's say climate change, social justice. Some of our policies will resonate with this group of people.
How does her policy platform, as outlined during her acceptance speech, compare to the key issues emphasized by the Democratic Party in previous elections? Are there any significant shifts or continuities in her policy proposals?
Sure. Some policies, trajectory in terms of a continuity, and there's some new, some new trends as well in a campaign. For example, when it comes to issues relating to healthcare and climate change, it seems to be consistent with the Democratic Party's principles or strategy, over time. But when it comes to issues that pertains to social justice and economy especially, she seems to have gone a bit further. The Democratic Party traditionally has been quite liberal, but our economic plan seems to be quite, a bit, a bit extreme. Some people consider it might be a bit extreme, that might run the country to a point of socialism or even absolute communism. And that's what is being peddled by the Republican Party and the Trump campaign now, because she laid down certain policies that seems to be quite socialist. And, and she needed to now, she didn't really state exactly how she intends to bring these social economic policies to bear.
I mean, this question I'm about to ask you has been asked repeatedly because of its significance. I want you to share your thoughts as briefly as possible. How does her acceptance of the nomination fit within the broader historical context of women and minorities running for the U.S. presidency?
Whether she wins the election or not, she has put her names in the sands of time, the annals of history, being the first woman of color to, go that far. Persons like, Jesse Jackson have tried to, get to where she is today without any major success. But persons like President Barack Obama has laid the foundation for her that it is possible, as well as, women like Shirley Chisholm, which was the first Black woman to be elected into the Congress. And so she'll be an inspirational figure, whether she wins or not. And we only hope to see more women in leadership roles, not only in the United States, but globally. So she has done well, and congratulations for her, whether she wins or not. She has showed others that it's possible to go this far.
Hugo, just before we came on for Beyond the Continent, we had a live of the presser by Robert Kennedy Jr. What are your thoughts on his proposed nomination of Donald Trump for presidency?
It's not really much of a surprise, being that he's a business person himself, and he has links to persons like Donald Trump from time. They are both also quite grounded in the state of New York, where President Donald Trump seems to have done a lot, or even from. So, endorsing him is not really a surprise on a personal level. However, a Democrat in endorsing a Republican candidate may hit the Harris camp negatively, because some may begin to contemplate the reason why a Democrat is supporting a Republican. It's not something that is very common, but it does happen. So let's see how it pans out. Hopefully, he makes that official, and let's see how it's going to turn the election around, whether positively in favor of Donald Trump.
I'm sorry, I have to interject now, but thank you very much for speaking with us. We appreciate the insights you've provided. I'd like us to cut straight. We understand that